Are you ready? I'm gonna let all the secret agents in. Here they come. Welcome. Look at all these beautiful secret agents.
Oh, look at these faces of people I love. Hello, agents.
Nice wig.
And look at all the colors people are wearing. How sweet to see everybody. Oh, Val, I like your horns.
Oh, God, that's Rosemerry.
Oh, yes, tis I with the purple hair, friends.
Oh my
Looks great on you, Rosemerry. Wow.
Thank you.
I was
Thank you.
looking for you and I couldn't find you.
I was so excited when I saw Sherry this morning in her pink wig. I said, oh, wait. Let's go get a purple wig.
It kind of suits you, girlfriend.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun in this wig, I'm just gonna say.
That might be a whole nother Zoom call for that one.
A whole different poem.
Sure, I shall have to write the purple hair poem. It's true. Welcome everybody coming in from all over. If you would go ahead in the chat bar, go ahead and type in where you're coming from and yeah, just put your favorite color too. As many favorite colors as you want. Really, you don't have to just choose one. And let's see, sweet Sherry, I think probably the best thing to do to get started is to have everybody be on mute. Can you have everybody on mute? And then we'll invite everybody to unmute yourselves as we're having conversations after we tell you the secret.
Okay, so for some reason, I'm having trouble muting everybody. Ooh, but I think, could you all please, that would be so great, if you could mute yourselves. I think most people did.
Oh, wow. Great. Thanks, everybody.
I love this group. Thank you all.
Oh, my goodness. Look at all the places everybody's from, all across the country. And in the middle, we got multiple Milwaukees, lots of Colorados, San Francisco, Illinois, Florida.
I see
Loveland.
Loveland.
From Telluride.
Were you just in Loveland?
I was. I see quite a few Lovelandish folks.
Yay.
Actually, everybody wave if you're from Loveland, or wave if you were in Loveland last weekend. There were a lot of us there. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, everybody.
Can we wave if we wish we would have been there with you?
Wave if you wish. Wave if you wish. So, friends, welcome to the Secret Agents of Change. Is it if this is your first time ever being in a Secret Agents of Change, then wave your hands so we can see you. This is your first time? Wow, welcome, Secret Agents. So good to have you join us. All right, now just so you get to wave also, if this is not your first mission and you have been a secret agent before, wave your hands. Woo, welcome back. Welcome back, secret agents. Well, as you know, this is a group committed to surreptitious acts of kindness. That means you can't let folks know that it was you, which is kind of fun and an important part of our mission. But Sherry, should we start with our origin story before we do the mission?
I think because we have so many new secret agents, and I'd love to hear it. For me, it's like it's like an old family story.
We should let everybody else tell the story one of these times. You guys tell the story. You've heard it before. Okay, but here's how it starts. So one day I get in the mail this envelope with like pretty stickers on it. And inside there's a fancy card and a little like a blessing, I suppose. And then $5 bill. And it says, hey, I get your poems. I love them. They make me happy. And I'm practicing abundance. And I'm giving, $5 to all the people who are making a difference in my life. Well, not all of them, but to many people who are making a difference in my life. Thanks for everything. And I didn't know this woman, Sherry Richert Belul. And certainly I could not have pronounced her name like I can now. So I was like, well, that's amazing. And then I wrote a poem about it. And it was called Secret Agents. And Sherry, might you take it from here? Then what happened?
I would love to. So when I saw, I'm also admitting people still because our secret agents are still coming in the room. So when I saw your poem and everybody was writing, I want to be a secret agent. I want to be a secret agent. And it immediately struck me that, oh my gosh, we could be secret agents. And it took a lot of courage. Those of you who know and love Rosemerry from afar, like I did, like to ask you, like, could we do something together, And you said,
Yes, let's do something. Let's have a secret agent group. What a great idea, Sherry.
so yeah. And I don't even know how long we've been doing it now, but some years.
Like 4 years, maybe.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
Me too. Many, many, many missions. I have no idea how many, but over 20.
Yeah. And I was reflecting on them before we were all gathering today and just thinking about, and I hope everyone will think about this for yourselves, those of you who have done missions with us, the ripple effects of all of those secret acts of joy and kindness and love in the world. Like there's still probably, I have no doubt, people out there who are holding some of the things that you have done, those of you here, they're holding that in their hearts as very special moments and memories. And, that kind of surprise joy, it sticks with us. Yeah, ripples. I saw Kristen just put that in the chat.
And the thing I think too that has kept us going with this over the years is that when we get together like this, and when we get together in our Facebook group and people share what they've done, it is the sweetest, best news. It is just this gorgeous hit of what's going right in the world, of all the things that make me fall in love with humanity. And couldn't we all use some big hits of that? Because there's a lot of the opposite. So just the communion of being together, the community of being together, hearing what other people have done. There's so many acts of kindness that other people have done that stay with me, even though all I've done is read about them in our group together. So gosh, it's wonderful to be together again. Thanks.
Yay. One more thing I just want to say, first of all, everyone, I want to take a screenshot. So let's just have our best wave or hello or smile. Yeah. Thank you all. What a beautiful group. What a beautiful group. One thing I just want to say too, that is a really important aspect of this to me, and Rosemerry, we were talking about this last time when we were actually live together when we did our mission, which was so special, which was that there's something wonderful about any act of kindness, any act of love, but there's something extra special that happens for me when it's that anonymous gift or that anonymous act. That because I think what happens, I don't know, I can't prove this, but I think what happens for people is then it feels as if anyone in the world could have done this beautiful thing, this kind thing. And so to me, what I hope is that what happens from this is that other people, oh my gosh, look at Donna. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by this adorable puppy. Talk about an act of secret joy. Thank you, Donna. Oh my gosh. Yet then I hope that what it does for people is that it gives them the sense that there's goodness everywhere and that, they're looking around, I hope, at everybody and thinking, oh, maybe that's the person, right? Like maybe that's the person who brought this secret joy. And so that's the thing that I really love, especially about this. And of course, the joy that we feel as we're doing it, right? Like even just right now, before any of us have, well, that's not true. You guys have done your act of joy by showing up and by your beautiful faces, by the beautiful, fun, surprise color and everything that you brought. So yeah, we're already in the middle of it.
And the joy of doing it together, knowing other people are doing it too. There's some secret thrill in that too. So the way that we do this, I'll read a poem, and every time I read a poem, and then Sherry will give us a prompt. No, not a prompt. Let's call it a mission. She's giving us our mission to go out into the world, to how to carry out the secret acts, ideas. Then after the poem, after Sherry's mission, then we'll just open it up to everybody, brainstorming what are some amazing things that we could do. We encourage everyone to steal each other's ideas and just run with all the kindness that you can. So are we ready for the poem?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. It's a recent one, so those of you who get the daily poems, you'll remember it from just about a week ago, maybe a week and a half. Another reason to marvel. The average color of the universe is not blue as they thought, but beige. Or so they say after studying 200,000 galaxies. A fact that makes me stand longer today beside this tulip as it shamelessly splays its statistically unlikely yellow and red. A living manual for possibility. In all of deep space, the chance to show up in this garden. Isn't that amazing, friends, that the world, that the predominant, that most of the known anything is beige? It's astonishing then to imagine this. How could it be?
Rosemary, I want you to read the poem again, please. But before you do that, will you say a little more? I've been dying to know, how do you know that the world is beige?
Well, I don't. I read it, but I was at a museum. It was, oh my gosh, the Mass Mocha. If anyone's ever been to Mass Mocha, that is a color experience for sure in the Berkshires. And there was an exhibit in a hallway that a man in the hallway itself was beige. And then there was a river of lights on the ceiling, and they were kind of approximating, the stream of stars in the Milky Way. And then there was a little plaque explaining the man's art. So in a way, I suppose this is an ekphrastic poem, which is writing about art, but I was kind of astonished. He was writing about how he'd been kind of inspired by the fact that most of the universe was beige because of this study they'd done for 200,000 galaxies. They studied 200,000 galaxies, but in an infinite universe, what do we know about the rest of the infinite galaxies besides those 200,000? So to the best of our human knowledge, the universe is beige. But still, even knowing that 200,000 galaxies are beige, then to know, like, look at this beautiful orange candle that my mother gave me, that's a possibility, right? When things are mostly beige. So I got all excited about it. Here's the poem again. Another reason to marvel. The average color of the universe is not blue, as they thought, but beige. Or so they say after studying 200,000 galaxies. A fact that makes me stand longer today beside this tulip as it shamelessly splays its statistically unlikely yellow and red, a living manual for possibility. In all of deep space, the chance to show up in this garden. Our chance to show up in this amazing garden. All right, Spy Master Sherry.
Hold on.
But
We got to breathe for a minute, Ms. Rosemary. It's that you don't, well, maybe you know, but it is such a gift. It is such a gift. And I just wanted to take a moment and really appreciate you for us to have you here reading the words that many of us are used to just reading on the page, I just want to thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, are we ready? First, I just have to say, a living manual for possibility. Like, I love that, right? Because that's like what we all are right now, right? We're living possibility, and we are also that garden. Again, I'm just struck as I keep looking, I look at everyone's beautiful color, and it's just a garden. It is a garden. So, secret agents, here's your mission, should you choose to accept it, which of course we hope you will. Operation Color the World. A beige world? Oh, heavens. Life's too short to live in shades of beige. Not only that, but secret agents, have you been listening? All of the black and white language going on in the world right now. The division that happens when we choose those sides instead of lining up together beneath the rainbow. The world needs color. The world needs light. The world needs you to be the delight. Your mission is to color the world in whatever way you choose. And I have a few ideas to start us off. We're going to be sending you a PDF in an email after this call today. And it has the poem, so you get to have a copy of the poem. And it has some ideas. And it has some printables. So if you want to do that, you can use the printables. You can send them out anonymously. You can hide them places. You can do whatever you want with the printables. You could also draw with colored chalk on the sidewalk, or leave packages of colorful chalk around, like especially around children's playgrounds. You could hang a string of colored hearts in your window, or on your mailbox, or on someone else's door. You could make a box of sunshine for someone and fill it with lemons. You could mail an anonymous note to someone. You were caught red-handed being amazing, and tell them something amazing that they did or they are. You could leave some of your own colorful art behind the cereal box in the grocery store. You could exclaim, "I'm tickled pink," but don't explain. You could, where'd it go? You could put some of these little parasols. Oops, I'm trying to let people in as you could get some of these little colorful parasols and leave them anywhere. You could, this is a book called My Many Colored Days. Send that anonymously to someone. You could, in honor of Rosemary's poem, get some red tulips, or make some, like I had to do, and leave those for someone, or leave them somewhere. Those are just a few of the ideas. And now we're going to open it up. Oh, first we have something special to do, right? And then we're going to open up, right?
Well, I'm going to say two things. Sherry, number one, those are amazing ideas. And that is, I want to just honor that sometimes we think about these things for a long time. What is the mission going to be? How is it going to work? And Sherry was so inspired by this one, and just like it popped into her. And it was so fun to watch her literally light up as she was, with thinking about this. So we will send you the text that she just read. We'll send you that whole list. We'll send you the printables. We'll send you the link to this video. All these things are going to come to you if you're on the mailing list. Then Sherry will send that all out, and I will put all of this into our Facebook group right after this also, so you can have the list of things to do, the printables, all of it. So all of that is coming your way. No worry about like writing it down or worrying about it not being available or it went by too fast. We'll get it all to you. So we're going to open it up for your ideas. But first of all, I know someone already who has a great idea because she's already been doing it. And it's Vivian. And Vivian, I saw that you were in here. Are you still here? Yay, she is. I just met Vivian for the first time in Loveland. And after a class on Saturday, she showed us this incredible folder. And Vivian, could I call on you to unmute yourself and tell everybody and show everybody what you've been doing?
Sure. Actually, I don't think I have any kindness coins here right now, but in a moment I'll actually grab some. But what I've been doing is making kindness coins out of upcycled materials, and they're either 2.5 squares or 2.5 rounds, and really easy to do. You can do it with anything that you get in the mail. You can collage them, you can add inspiring words, and I've been doing that since 2018 with my students at Colorado State University, as well as with some folks in Fort Collins and actually around the world. There's another person here, Karen Hillsberg. She's in one of the Zoom little rectangles, who's also been doing it with a group called the Fodder School. And then we've been actually offering them at the Cancer Center, so completely anonymous. Clients that go in for infusions at UC Health get them in Fort Collins. We're also doing it at a cancer center in Denver. And then folks that have joined in have been doing them in various ways. I had a 5th grade class that sent me kindness coins. I had a woman in France that did. Karen's been making them, and just a lot of other folks. So I can drop the PDF as well as a list of words that you could use into the Facebook group if you want to join in. But to make it really simple, it's just little squares or little rounds, and you can hand them out to anybody. Or leave them places. I've left them in bathrooms. I've strung them and left them on people's bikes. So you can get super creative with it if that inspires you. So please join in.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks, Karen, for joining us too. I can tell you're involved in that project. It sounds so just thoughtful and fun, playful and creative.
Yeah, thank you, Vivian. Thank you, thank you. So we love to hear. Does anyone else? Oh, I see Julie. I saw your hand go up right away. You can unmute yourself. We'd love to hear. Oh, Julie, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
One of the most vivid colors I can think of is Jello. It's just so pure and bright. And I'm thinking I will make some Jello, probably red, because I love caught you red-handed doing something amazing, and leave it on a plate with a fork on the receptionist desk for our amazing receptionist. She comes in at 8. So if I leave it like at 7:30, it ought to get there before she does and be surreptitious. And I just think Jello is so beautifully colorful.
Good idea, Mama. Good idea.
And it jiggles.
Yeah. Great point, Val. Kristen, it looks like you have your hand up.
Yeah, so
Rightly
sure.
picked today.
Yeah, every day. This is every day. So something I've been doing for years is gifting bubbles to strangers. So I started out on the New York City subway to create conversation, and I would just always carry extra and give them to people. And I'm thinking, and for the anonymous part, just leaving, you can get the little bottles. I will acknowledge it's not so great for the environment. However, people seem to really respond to them no matter how old they are. So I'm thinking, I love your idea of the grocery store. I think I'm just going to leave a bunch of bottles of bubbles around places where maybe people wouldn't find them. I've taken them to hospitals and done this in while waiting in doctor's appointments, and it changes the environment of a space. I gifted them at the World Bank too. I want you all to imagine a bunch of economists and analysts, like 200 of them, blowing bubbles in a meeting. And then I taught them how to do deep yogic breathing. Anyway, bubbles they bring a lot of joy. Colorful little rainbows. So that's what I'm going to do.
Kristen, I love that. I love that. My Bo and I have, back before COVID, we haven't done it since, but we used to do bubble flash mobs. And I agree with you, the amount of joy we would just, and it was a little bit surreptitious because we would quietly give them to people, put the bubbles in their pocket. And then at a certain time, we'd say, 11/11, we're all going to start blowing them, and it would just create a beautiful surprise for anyone who didn't know. So I love that. I just wanted to, before we call it, I saw Susan had said, placing cards with rainbow stickers around my apartment complex, including in the raised garden beds that residents have filled with flowers. I love that, Susan. That is so beautiful. I see that, David, you have your hand up. You should be able to unmute yourself.
I am. Hi, Sherry and Rosemerry. It's great to be here. I was just thinking of a couple of things as I sit here with all the energy in this Zoom room. One is postcards, blank postcards I could send on the mailing side, write the handmade address with juicy colors, use the left side instead of putting a response of who sent it, obviously, because it's surreptitious. Make your own art or glue stick your own really juicy colors in there. And then on the back side, do whatever you want that brings joy to people, and maybe even tie in that colorful cosmic angle that Rosemerry has in the poem. The 3 words that came into my sheet here is colorful cosmic temple. Because the universe is really part of my spiritual core, and maybe to share that with and say something like, I'm so happy that you're part of my colorful cosmic temple, and you're riding, what is it, 66,000 miles an hour on the axis as this world goes around. And then all the colors, and what you have to have is something like this to do this.
Wow.
Is the Pentel color pen set, which I already have to do postcards for politics and friends. But and then the second one is Lois Ehlert comes to mind, a brilliant children's book author who's originally from Shorewood, I think, in Wisconsin. Her books are beautiful and colorful, and they'd be great gifts to give anonymously to grandkids, or if people here are younger, to kids, to read to grandkids. And if people don't know about Lois Ehlert's books, this would introduce them to her amazing color work.
Oh, wow. David, thank you. That was so many beautiful things. And I love that. I love your postcards. It's so wonderful. And when you mentioned the author, I was also thinking, I don't know if anyone knows Todd Parr, but he also is very colorful. My favorite book of his when my son was little is the OK book. It's really a lot about accepting. Oh, Rosemary.
Okay to be different.
We just happen to have that right there.
That's very funny. And also feel free, by the way, you could put the poem on the postcard too. So if you wanted to just add the poem will be in the Facebook group. We'll send it to you so you can add that on the postcard so that it makes sense. Maybe, why you're saying in this cosmic universe, also what I love about this, I love this idea about, bringing in these children's authors. So often the books that we think of for kids I've had multiple people give me beautiful books, including Aida, who I think just left, but Remember by Joy Harjo is another. And just having these gorgeous, thoughtful books that are made for kids often are really made for us too. So that is a really nice idea.
Right. And it's also a secret gift to the authors, so of course, that added special supporting books is something I think we can all get behind. Love that.
I want to say too, something very important that Sherry brought up in your thing is that one flavor of kindness is honoring that somebody isn't doing okay and just letting them be however they are. And I love the joy of the things we've talked about, but there's also something so sweet about you said, it's fine. It's okay to be blue. Sometimes we're blue, right? And I feel like it's okay to be blue. You are loved, right? What a beautiful message. So as we're doing these colorful works, maybe also keeping in mind The generosity of just honoring someone wherever they are with whatever color they're in. Yeah.
I love that, Rosemary. And I think this is I just want to say, because some people know this, other people don't, but my whole world of celebration came from depression. That's my history. And so I think it is always so important to honor, whether it's ourselves who are, having that blue time, or someone in our lives. But I love, and I'm so glad that you underscored that, to bring that into this, right? Because it's all the colors. It's all the colors. That book that I held up, The Many Colored Days, which Rosemary, I know, I still repeat some of those lines. Like one of them is, gray day, everything is gray today, and that's okay, right? So we can broaden how we're bringing color into the world in so many ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks, Sherry. I see we have Jimmy and Karen both with their hands up. Jimmy, let's have you first, friend.
Yeah, I do 24/7 caregiving for my wife, so I have to keep coming back and forth. She had a stroke, so I'm suggesting a place. And for a while, she was in a nursing facility where there was a nursing home. There were a ton of lonely people there who have no one to even visit them or anything. Now, I know you're doing this surreptitiously, like cards and stuff, but
Your volume's turned up too, but it should
Let's
work.
make sure it's my volume. Gotta
Yeah,
look for my
go ahead.
volume.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
That
Can
is
we
my
just make sure
volume.
that everyone is
I don't know
muted?
where my volume is.
Shoshana, can you,
It's
we
not
hear
on-
you,
Here it is,
Shoshana.
a little icon.
Shoshana, can you hear me, sweetheart? We hear you. She's having all kinds of issues, I know, today with her volume.
Oh,
So that's just a suggestion for a place. I mean, if you want to do it surreptitiously, you could go in and ask for birthdays, what some of the birthdays are for people. You could, anniversaries, whatever, that type of thing. I had a friend who came in and played guitar for them and for nothing. And, how much they appreciated that. And there's one guy that I made friends with who, was a guitar player. You'd never know it because he couldn't even move his hands anymore. And he loved that moment, and he couldn't speak good, but he was talking about guitars, and I was trying to figure out what he was saying, and so it just really great that this guitar player went in there and played for them for a good hour or so, and then we went to their room and played. He played, so there's so many things like that you can do that aren't surreptitious, but if you're looking for the secret thing, that's a place to go, I think, really. So thank you.
Jimmy, that was fantastic. One of my friends posted on Facebook recently, her grandmother is in a nursing home, and she asked people to send cards. And I sent a card anonymously, right? I didn't know her grandmother anyway, but just to say that the world loves her. We're so glad she's here. So there are ways to do secret, especially if we reach out to, there's an event person or a coordinator at those homes, right? I love that, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
And Karen, how about you?
Well, the postcard idea really got my creative juices going. And I thought, if I'm to do this, I'm already thinking about doing the front of the postcard with some words like, when I color my world with love, or when I color my world happy, or when I color my world precious. And then on the side where you write something on the inside, you could write, I color it with you. And send it. And I love the idea of the colorful names, for the address. But I mean, I'm just thinking of all the people who add special things to my life, and that it would be fun to pick out one special something for many of them, and do something bright and cheerful like that.
Oh, so exciting. See, this is it. This is why getting together is fun. One person says something, and then we just, how it builds, and we can see how we fit it into our own, I love how you took the postcard idea and made it, what was it? I color with you. What was your phrase? You had such a beautiful phrase.
Okay, I thought on the front I would write something like, when I color my world with love, and then they turn it over and it says, I color the world with you. And then you could use other things on the front. When I color my world happy, I
Yes.
color my world with you. So I just think that would be fun.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you.
Rosemary, I just imagine one day we'll have like an entire store where, we'll have all the secret agent, like note cards and printables and like, who knows? I wanted to share something in the chat that Fran had posted, which was again, honoring someone where they are. And I love this, Fran. She said, some guys in my HOA don't get along very well. They're kind of grumpy. So she's thinking of making a basket of hearts for each of them and leaving on their doorsteps. So again, like what a beautiful thing, right? It's always great to spread joy, but especially when you think of someone who might be having a hard time, or they're kind of grumpy or ill or lonely, that adds a whole nother layer, right, to that thoughtfulness. So thank you for that, Fran.
And Stephanie says, I'm going to give away flowers. Oops, I just lost I'm going to give away flowers to people I don't know. What a fun way to do it. And Val, why don't you jump in and then we'll read some more of the chat bar ones.
Yeah, it's I think my secret mission that's not so secret is to be colorful. And I don't mean like cussing all the time, although I can do that. Colorful language, right? But to like if standing in line somewhere and a good song comes on, just start dancing. People will look at you really weird, but I'll just dance like hard, just dance, or walking down the street, I just sometimes dance, or and I greet all the dogs I meet. And then the people in that order. But and I know I've shared this before, but and my personal mission is to share a poem every day. And I have some really short 1-minute poems that I have memorized that are really invitational, that people love. And at some point every day, if I'm out or on the phone with a mortgage person or a banker or Comcast or in the grocery store, if there's not a long line behind me, I'll say, can I give you a 1-minute poem? And people have a hard time saying no to 1 minute. And I'll share this poem, and 50% of the time I get a hug, 60% of the time they'll cry. But it adds color and humanity to our world. So that's a big part of how I live, and it's really fills me and others. And so I'll do that a little more consciously. Well, I already do it, but yeah, like I probably don't have time to make postcards and stuff, but I'll be more conscious of handing out poems and hugs and dancing.
And Valerie, if you could please just walk around in the world like you are right now with that, that amazing joy that you are and you're wearing, that is a secret mission, right? Because people don't know that you're like intentionally being a secret agent of joy, right? They'll see you and they'll feel it.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that you talked about dancing. One of our secret agents that I saw come in, I lost you now, but Michelle, who leads something called Operation Joy, which is the most beautiful, joyful dancing. And I know she's always out in the world. Hi, Michelle, I see you out there. She's always out in the world, just beaming and dancing, right? Like beaming and dancing. And that sounds like you, Val, too.
Yeah, makes people light up and remember our humanity, like Rosemerry does with her poems. So.
Rosemerry, did you want to read? I keep seeing the chat. There's some beautiful things. Do you want to read a few?
What's going on? We have, I love this one, create a color poll along the park sidewalk using colored chalk and have people vote with chalk, X's, or hearts. That's kind of fun. Just making a colorful poll. And Vivian put a kindness coin sample in the chat bar. And Peter says, I have an old friend who used to give me flowers, which was unusual for a boy to receive, but I really loved it. I'm thinking about giving flowers to some people who would not typically receive flowers, probably guys. I'm thinking about putting a message that says, I know flowers may be an unexpected way to brighten a guy's day, but after all, flowers do come from buds. A little humor always goes a long way. That's so good.
Rosemerry, am I wrong? Is Peter the one that did the secret mission with the garbage?
The garbage men. We'll never forget it.
Never. I mean, we talked about this earlier, the ripple effects, right? Where's Peter? Is he here?
He is. He's in a red tie.
Oh, I don't know. Peter, I don't know if you want to just briefly explain, but that's a mission that, I don't know, it just really touched my heart. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. So this is one of the first missions I think I was involved in, but I have continued it. I put out every once in a while, I'll put out some gift cards to local restaurants to the trash men on the trash cans. And they still put my trash cans up next to my house. I'm the only one on the block that gets the trash hooked up on my every Tuesday, I think about you guys.
All right, Peter, that is just, and I know we keep saying this, but I'm astounded, right? Like when we're together in a group, how we fuel each other with these ideas. And, Peter, I've never met you in person. I hope I do someday. But you're a part of my heart, right? Because I remember that mission too from years ago. And it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also saw in the chat that Kristen, please do this and please take a selfie. Kristen says, I have an inflatable unicorn costume that I've been wanting to wear to the grocery store. Please do this for us. I love that.
Oh my goodness. Linda says she's making colorful origami hearts for a previous mission that she made into bouquets of flowers and delivered in color vases to a local memory care facility. That's a really beautiful, like, twining of many of the things we've talked about today. Thank you, Linda.
I know.
Colorful.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rosemerry. I know Linda's been a secret agent with us for a long time. And so also just thank you for that. And I love her ingenuity at like using something that she did at a previous mission and repurposing it.
Rue, I love Rue's handing out bags of jelly beans with a note. It's a great idea. That's like my mom's Jello idea, that bright color. So fun. Painting rocks with simple one-word messages, leaving poems in parks and grocery stores. Thanks, Julie Hughes. I was thinking about that too. I like to get those paints in little jars and I paint rocks and I write poems on them and leave them all over. And it's so much fun. And they look like little Easter eggs and people love them. And I just leave them around town and people always pick them up. And then there's more kindness samples and a request for what, Val, would you do one of your 1-minute poems?
Oh, fun.
Do you want to hear one?
Let's hear one.
Cool. Thank you. This is one of my favorites and it's, think of the Wizard of Oz. I know everybody knows the Wizard of Oz. There's no place. Dorothy's house once again caught wing, yet this time there's no wickedness to soften her landing. The clouds intervened, and azure dreams wove a net so thick, bluebells and tulips had to stretch their necks to reach the light. Seeds blew up like kites, racing the sun to greet this girl who learned that home is everywhere.
Oh, beautiful, Val. Home is everywhere.
Thank you.
I see Paula has her hand raised. Hi, Paula. With
do.
your beautiful red glasses.
Yeah, that's the most colorful thing, glasses and my socks in my wardrobe. But it's such a joy to be listening to all these amazing ideas. And one that came to mind that sort of marries together several of them is, okay, so my mom somehow or another procured hundreds of sticks of sidewalk chalk. I'm not sure where she got them, but the last time I was home, she said, "Do you want these?" And I said, "Sure." And my husband said, "Why?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I'll find a reason." So now I think the reason is I'm going to make little note cards that say things like color your world with love, color your world with kindness, color your world with joy on one side. And on the other side, say, you matter, or, every little act makes a difference. And then tie a little piece of sidewalk chalk to it. And I'm going to leave them all over town. I'm going to leave them on people's doorsteps. I'm going to leave them in grocery stores. I'm going to leave them at the library, at the city parks, wherever. So we're going to run around with a backpack full of sidewalk chalk and notes. And we're just going to color the city.
That's awesome. Will you please send pictures if you see like little chalk art popping up around in West Virginia? That'd be so great. Thank you, Paula.
And also such a great reminder, Rosemerry, please, to any of our secret agents, no matter what you're doing, if you snap a photo, we would love that. We would love that. It's so much fun. I mean, we love hearing the stories when people post in their Facebook groups, but when people post photos, it's so much fun. One time someone even did a video. I remember, were they dancing? I think it was voting day, right? And I think they were dancing in line at the polls.
I remember that. That's right. That's right.
And I think that whoever that beautiful person was, they sent us a snippet and it was wonderful.
Yeah, I remember that. Let's see. Oh, Karen says one caveat, don't leave things on private property, like in a museum. A friend got in trouble for doing that. Ooh. Many times I could have been in trouble, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, no secret agent arrests, please. We don't.
Keep yourself safe. Number one rule of secret agenting is keep yourself safe.
If you do get arrested, make sure you dance and somebody videos it for our Facebook.
Oh, my mom is pointing out it's fun to see me embracing all my color because I've been so embarrassed by my mother's colorful choices in clothes. Remember the sunglass worthy pants I used to? Mom, I still would be embarrassed if you wore them, but I would still walk with you. I would be proud to be with you. I just wouldn't look at your pants. But you may notice I'm not wearing any patterns. Lots of color, no patterns. I can do that. Rita says this isn't colorful, but she carries quarters and puts them in parking meters that have turned red. Okay, that totally counts.
Totally counts.
Totally counts. And it's so fun. Speaking of this, I love to bring quarters with me to the hardware store where I know they have a gumball machine, and I always leave quarters in the gumball machine. And somebody actually caught me doing it the other day, which I was bummed. I was like, oh no, somebody caught me doing that. But I did it. And then usually I do it as I'm leaving. But this week I put one in as we were going into the pharmacy or into the hardware store. And when I was in line, I got to actually watch the kid discover the quarter in the gumball. And I'd never seen that before. And that was fun. I was like, oh, wow. He was so excited and jumping up and down. He called his friends over. Look, there's already a quarter in it. So,
oh, Dalton loves that. I love that, Rosemerry.
along the same lines as it's the red meter. Just put it in the colorful gumball machine. Why not?
And this, I don't know why, but that reminded me again. I'm having all these wonderful flashbacks. But this is a great one. Whoever it was, you can post in the chat and take credit. But remember when we were doing the one for teens and someone went to the ice cream store?
That was Karen.
Oh, you remembered late, yay. But I was thinking we could recycle that one. And you could, if they have Tutti Frutti ice cream, we could go and say here's $25 for the next however many people, give them a free Tutti Frutti, or, we could
that's a really
make it work. I loved that one. Thank you, Karen. That was a beautiful mission.
Fran says, take healthy doggy treats on walks with her puppy and ask if it's okay to give a treat. Great idea. And someone else, by the way, Claudia, pointed out how gorgeous the wall art is behind you and your outfit.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, Claudia, say something because I'm on speaker mode. So if you say something, you'll pop up for me and I can take a screenshot.
Okay. I love how you appreciate other people's color and stories.
Oh, you just look gorgeous. That was wonderful. This is so much fun, isn't it? I love this. And do we have any other hands? And you don't have to have an idea. If you only have two, if you want to say hello, if you want to just give us a smile so we can have a chance to say hi, that's fine too. Claudia,
you have an idea? Did you raise your hand?
I did. I just raised my hand. Yeah, this wasn't anonymous, but I thought of all the people that were special to me in my life that I don't necessarily see, and they might be far away. And I just wrote them an email telling them, like one email telling them that they were very special in my life. And even though I don't always correspond with them, you know, they're dear. And it was really great hearing from people I hadn't heard from for a really long time.
What a good idea. What a beautiful idea. Just to, hey, we haven't communicated. I care about you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So lovely. Any other ideas? I'm just scrolling in our chat bar to make sure I didn't miss any.
I just got a direct message and I'll respond because it's such a fun one. It's a question about where we got our wigs. I don't know where Rosemerry got hers. You can tell us. I just ordered mine online. So nothing special. And it was actually like $20, I think. But I love it. I love my wig.
I got mine at the Bluegrass Festival in Telluride like 30 years ago. So it's worth the $20 investment. You can wear it for 30 years. At this point, it's less than $1 a year. Paula, you have your hand up, and so does Sharon.
Hi, well, here's one more thing that brings color to my life.
Hi,
my
Miss
daughter.
Ellie.
Hi, everybody. She just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Hi.
She'll be my accomplice.
You have your glasses on.
I do.
Can they see the side of your glasses?
I don't know.
Ooh, oh, wow.
Yeah. How about that?
It's always good to have an accomplice in this. And Sharon, how about you?
Hi there. This is my first secret mission meeting, so I'm very excited to be here. Hi, everybody. I used to have a job I'm retired from, but it was a job where I would meet people, the general public, once and done. And I met so many people that were in need when I met them. And I would go home and get a Publix gift card or a gift card for a gas station, and I would mail it to them without my name. And they wouldn't know who it could come from because they probably forgot that they even met me. But I would, in my head, figure they're probably getting it today. And all day I would be so excited that they were going to have money that day and the day was going to be a little easier for them. And it was such a good feeling. So I'm really excited to do this.
Oh, yeah. So good. What a great idea. You could even just on theme, put it in a red envelope or yellow, just like an easy way to make it colorful. What a beautiful, generous way to do it. Just notice who needs help. Who needs help.
And Rosemerry, I love what you just said. I'm going to underscore that because right. Like, so let's say we want to send an anonymous letter or a gift of, a message of love to someone in our lives, put it in a colorful envelope. Don't put a return address. Do it with your left hand so they don't recognize your handwriting. And there you go, right? Like a beautiful secret agent mission. So thank you for that colorful envelope. I love that idea.
And this one saying, just kind of underscoring it, that sometimes even buying just a gift card when you're grocery shopping and leaving it with the cashier and they can give it to the next person who needs it. What a
Ooh, I like
beautiful,
that.
beautiful idea. Thank you, Ronnie. Picking up the tab for another at the grocery store, especially an elder person or a mom with a few children. Thank you, Michelle. Such beautiful ideas. Jen Hag says, I have a poem on my website today called Drowning in Roses, because I am. And she's leaving them anonymously all over the neighborhood this week because they are blooming like mad. That's awesome. It was so fun just giving bouquets. What a
Oh, and I was just scrolling up some that, because they were coming so fast, I know we missed a bunch, but I love what Vivian and Heidi were talking about name tags, and something like Vivian said, I handed out a bunch of watercolor rainbows at a conference so they could put them on their name tags and just add that color to the name tag. I love that.
beautiful. And Fran says using gift cards that you haven't used and giving them away to someone else. Really nice idea. Really nice.
And again, just for, even if it's for our own fun, I want to underscore, like, take an extra minute when you're doing, because these are beautiful ideas. And for your own fun, think about, how do I add that little bit of color, right? Like, how do I add something like with when Rosemary said, put it in a colorful envelope, or again, I'm going to go back to one of my favorite parasols, right? Because you can add a parasol to almost anything and it brightens it up. So just to give yourself that little challenge. Oh, I got distracted by Kristen's beautiful message. Better than 2 cups of coffee being here today.
You know, I'm grateful, Sherry, for this mission. Thank you so much for thinking of it. What a beautiful way just to, especially in spring when the world really is moving out of its beige moments and coming back into color, and just noticing. I noticed how fun it was to watch you be so excited about color. It made me more excited about color. Just this idea of bringing this brightness, this kind of gorgeous little miracle of what it is to be alive on earth right now, to ourselves and to each other. Thank you.
Oh, and Rosemary, it was your poem, right? Like, it always starts with you, you know. I think that that's a beautiful thing. Like, I guess not always in our friendship, but I love that it's like, I read that poem and it inspired me, right? And then from there, now we have a whole beautiful, amazing group of people who are using your poem to bring color today. Like, it's just so lovely. Yeah.
So wonderful to be with everybody. Thank you for all of your ideas in the chat bar. Thanks for all of your ideas in person. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for going out into the world to do surreptitious kind acts. And I see we have one more comment before we go out. And just so you know, I will certainly be putting all the prompts, everything we've been talking about, I'll be putting that into our Facebook group right after this, and you'll receive everything on the in an email from Sherry. Mark, we'll go out with you.
I just want to say how wonderful it is, I who live in foreign parts, to be with such a wonderful group of people. And I bow deeply to you and rejoice in all that you do and all the goodwill that is bubbling up within you. You're wonderful. Thank you very much indeed for letting me be part of this.
Thank you, Mark.
Can I throw in one more thing?
Of course.
I want to throw in a double secret mission. And that is to be astonished by beige. We've been beige, and beige is also astonishing. So a double secret is to be astonished by beige.
That's a great point, sweet friend. Let's not vilify beige. Let's allow beige to be every bit as astonishing. I'm so glad you said that. Thank you so much. All right, secret agents. Know your mission.
Don't forget, even if you aren't in the Facebook group, You can report back. You can email one of us after you get the email today. You could just hit reply. You could just find us, email us. We could post your story. But if you are in the Facebook group, please share. Any little color will brighten everyone's day.
Bye.
Thank you all. We love you.
Thanks, Secret
Bye,
Agents.
Bye, Master.
Bye.
Amrita, I see that you're pending. I'll make sure you get in.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Mwah, mwah.